Hello and welcome back to another one, and today I'm about to cover the pettiest story about hip-hop music you'd have seen in a while, which highlights how many so-called hip-hop fans on the internet are threatened by the success of Eminem. These people, who I refer to as reverse stans, are more active than pretty much any avid Eminem fan you can find on the internet, and prepare to facepalm several times throughout this video. In fact, the next time you hear someone say Eminem fans are the worst, remember that there's a video like this, an actual example that shows how far reverse stans will go to make sure Eminem doesn't get a win regardless of how cheap it may be. Before we get to that, remember to check out my previous video on Eminem's historic chart record in the United States with his latest album, and on that one we explore how Eminem humbled the rising star Halsey, who previously thought it would be a good idea to compare herself to Eminem, only for his latest album to drop and rain on her parade. That one was quite fun, so if you missed it, check it out. And since the album dropped, Eminem has humbled a few artists. You can find out more on my channel page. So a few outlets reported the news a few days after Eminem's new album dropped that Eminem's latest has been rated highly by users on Metacritic. One report states, Eminem's Music to Be Murdered By is currently the highest rated rap album of all time by users on Metacritic. Now, many of the replies under this was by users stating that it doesn't deserve that rating. Now, whether it deserves it or not is not the point of this video. Users can rate an album how they want, but what's about to happen is quite hilarious and pathetic, to say the least. Now, as you can see, the likes of MMLP, The Eminem Show, Dark Twisted Fantasy, Good Kid Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly are all rated in the 9s, and many on Twitter were not gonna leave things be. One user states, "So White M Stans did this," and another adds, "Time to change that." Now, another report also suggested that the news was being shared on a Kanye West Facebook page and that the users on there decided to combine their efforts to take down the score on Metacritic. Now, what's about to happen certainly doesn't end well for everyone, regardless of how you feel about fans initially rating Eminem's album so highly. And before we get to that, remember to hit the like button if you enjoy content like this, and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications if you're new. So as word went out of the rating, Reverse Stans spammed the album with zeros, and it dropped down to an 8.5 at the moment. Now, all these don't really matter, because the only rating that matters is if fans enjoy an album and decide to support the artist by streaming or purchasing the album. This is what every artist in the world would like. People who appreciate their work to show appreciation by supporting them, and Eminem has that covered, as we all know. But nonetheless, this is interesting. Now, let me ask you something. Did you think some Eminem fans that had extra time to be petty will let this slide? You should know the answer, and things were about to change for pretty much everyone because of this news. A user on Twitter then cried out, Eminem fans were mad, people didn't think their album should be rated that high, then spammed Dark Twisted Fantasy, a 10-year-old album. Like, how lame do you have to be? Notice the change in narrative after the news was reported that Eminem's album was rated highly by fans. Who were the people that decided to create accounts and downvote the album of an artist? It certainly wasn't Eminem fans, but when some Eminem fans hit back, Reverse Stans played the victim as usual. And I'll just put this out there. Most Eminem fans don't care about things like this, because surely these people should be aware that Eminem has the biggest fan base in hip-hop around the world. So if most fans actually decide to spam a rival artist, the artist they spam will end up with a 1 out of 10 rating easily, going by numbers. Now, the user that posted this knew that they were twisting the narrative. Check out this reply. An Eminem fan stated, Kanye fans started this and then cry when it happens to them. Grow up. And the user crying at the original post added, either way it's weird, LMAO. So the user acknowledges that Eminem fans didn't start this, but hasn't deleted the original misleading post. In the last list I showed you guys, Kanye's album was rated a 9, but now it was dropped from a 9 to an 8.5 on Metacritic, and this is why we can't all have nice things. Previously, they all had albums rated 9, but some people felt threatened, and just so you know, Organically, Eminem's latest album rating would have probably changed without the spamming from reverse stands, and now everyone is ruined in the user score petty wars. No album is rated 9 on the platform at the moment by users because of this. In an attempt to paint Eminem fans as the crazy ones, reverse stands show us once again how far they will go for Eminem. Ironic, isn't it? Like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.